Welcome to the Scottish Basketball Roundup. We post weekly episodes on Senior National League basketball in Scotland. You can join for free on Patreon, Spotify, and YouTube to receive a notification when new episodes are released. Access to the podcast episodes will always be free. You can make a contribution for yourself or for someone else as a gift through membership on Patreon. However small and infrequent, any contribution is very helpful and very much appreciated. You can get in touch with the podcast by sending us an email or a message on Instagram. If you like the content, share and send it to a friend who you think would like it too. Over the summer months, we're going to catch up with players from the senior men's and women's competitions in a new mini-series called Player Profiles as part of the Scottish Basketball Roundup. In this episode, I chat with Archie Paton, who has just completed his first senior season with Grampian Ignite. I'm delighted to welcome Archie to the podcast. Hi, Archie.
Hi, you're right, Andrew. How you doing?
Good, thank you. Maybe in this first player profile episode, maybe just give us a brief overview of how the season played out for yourself, results-wise at Ignite, and how you feel about the season record looking at it now.
A rough one. Not a surprise to anyone that I'm saying that. 1-20 or whatever it was. It was I think coming into the season there was a lot more expectations from the team with just the talent we had spread around the board, and it just never seemed to click. And then we had coaching changing halfway through the season, players dropping in and out the team, and I just think it was a rough one. We had a few good close games with teams like Edinburgh and Dunfermline, but we just could never really get it going at any level.
You mentioned there were a few changes in head coach this season. What was your relationship like with each of those coaches, and how did that develop through the season as the coaching staff changed?
Avinas, our original head coach, he was a difficult one. I probably only knew the man for about 3 weeks. He seemed nice. Seemed like a nice guy. Seemed like he had coached in Europe and stuff like that, and he had a good fundamental understanding and all that. But I just never really got to know him. But I've spoke to him since when I've just seen him about in Aberdeen, and seems like a decent guy. Fraser's a bit of a difficult one for myself. He coached with my dad when they were coaching Madsen's under-18s when I was probably about 13, 14. And so a bit of a weird dynamic. I feel like me and Fraser have a good relationship, but it kind of always comes across that sometimes he may view me more of a junior player, even though I am a senior man player now. Which is fine. It's just something both people need to work on. Definitely, this is just my first year as a senior men player. So, I think relationship wise, it is good, but it's sometimes just trying to get over that boundary of I can have a two cents in this team, and I don't always have to be viewed as a junior player.
You mentioned it was your first year at senior level. You were playing EABL with Reading Rockets at JMA. Maybe just when you look back now at the step up to the level and the challenge of Div 1, what were the main differences between the leagues, and how do you feel like you adapted to it?
Yeah, I think it definitely took me a wee while to adapt. I think I kind of came in with the attitude that, well, I've been down in England, like there's big athletic boys, these boys who are highly skilled, and then it's like at the end of the day, like if I'm playing defense against somebody and there's this big boy just absolutely barges me out the way, there's not much I can do there. I think it was definitely the physicality jump for sure that really took me out of it a lot. Like I feel like skill wise and all that, I feel England still probably has a slight upper hand, but no, definitely the physicality. Like there's some boys that will truly push you about in this league for sure.
What do you think improved most about your game this season, and how did you go about doing that?
Yeah, I think what improved most about my game was probably playing more of a natural guard again. I spent a lot of time in England just being a catch and shoot player in the corner, just go stick in the corner, 3 dribbles, that was it. And then I think this year, both RGU and Ignite, I've really had to kind of drill it back and become more a point guard and set up the offense and probably take away from my own scoring and stat lines of trying to create for other people, and just getting the best looks possible for the team.
You averaged 2.6 points per game in 14 minutes, roughly. Talk to us about your season high game, 11 points in 22 minutes against the Kings back in December. What went well that game, and what were the guys doing to find you your looks?
Yeah. No, I think I just got going that game. I think I was able just to I was trusted to take the shot. I played a wee bit longer than I normally would. I played a wee bit of a different role. I kind of got told to go sit in the corner, create looks for myself. And yeah, I think I was just able to get going. I think the team overall had a pretty decent game that day. That we were able to definitely get flowing a lot more than we usually were. I was actually playing on a broken nose. That was the first time I had to wear the mask. So maybe the mask helped me some way.
What do you think's the strongest part of your game, and how did that complement this year's Ignite roster?
Strongest part of my game, I'd normally say my 3-point shooting, but I think just having to play a different role was definitely just creating for other players, whether that show up as an assist or just being able to get the ball up the court, set up that offense, slow the game down, just pace it a wee bit more. I think one of Ignite's biggest problems this year was we tried to play too fast, and then we'd play into opponents' hands, especially on traps and presses and stuff like that. So I think I was definitely able to get the ball up, just set up, then go move away. Somebody else can do something with it. So just being able to create for other people, definitely.
What was your toughest moment as a group this season, and why was that tougher than any other in a 1-in-20 season?
Oh, toughest moment of the group was definitely the Fury second game. That was pretty brutal. Halloween night as well. So a lot of guys were just like, I'm not going to that. I remember playing. I was unwell as anything. I was so unwell. And it was just, yeah, it was just brutal getting battered down like that. Like it's like you can't, unless it's happened to you, can't really describe that feeling. And it's like, yeah, I think a lot of guys kind of came away from that game going, like, I think a lot of boys thought they were top dogs playing in Division Two, and then they come play against a team like Fury that realistically maybe are looking to be BCB level and kind of move out of Scotland, just getting humped, just getting battered. And I think a lot that was a wake up call for a lot of guys that like, oh, this league, even if I've played European somewhere, like I'm from a different country, like it's no walk in the park for sure.
How do you look back overall on the season with Ignite, and how does that feed into your plans for next season?
Yeah. Once again, a disappointment. I think we started the year quite hopeful. We won that second game. Obviously, of course, it was against the Blues. No detriment to those guys, but they were young boys. They're all everyone in that team is around my age. And I'm probably the youngest player on Ignite this season. So yeah, I think just looking back on it, it's like, yeah, it's a shame. I think there was a lot more there. I think there was actually a good core structure, and we could never figure out rotations, or we can never figure out that lineup that like really clicks and just gets going. I think I always say the most important minutes in basketball are the first 3 minutes of the third, and we just seemed every third quarter crumbled. Like it was just one of these things. It was like we'd go into the half maybe 6 to 8 points down, and then come into the third, and then look up and like we're down 22. Like I don't. I was just, yeah, definitely that third quarter just killed us the whole season.
Amazing. Right, let's go through some quick fire questions. What is your favorite basketball memory from growing up playing?
My favorite basketball memory growing up playing was when I was 16. I went on a preseason with Manchester Magic to Portugal. And it was just great. It was unreal. We played against the local pro team there. Done extracurricular stuff. Shared a room with two of my best friends, Daniel Laycock and Luca Lara Sanchez. Yeah, it was just great. And it was probably like one of those first times where you really have a sense of like freedom. Like coaches weren't really involved. You were kind of allowed to walk about and all that. And it was just great. It was so enjoyable.
What is your pre-match ritual or routine?
Pre-match ritual, obviously have a bit of music in, just chill out, get ready. I do tend to like a Reese's cup. I like if we stop off somewhere, I'll buy a few Reese's cups, even if they're petrol station prices. They're absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, definitely just music and Reese's cups, I'd say so.
What's the best and worst thing about living in Aberdeen?
Best thing, coming from a student, best thing is probably the nightlife. is actually pretty lively. It's a lot of a student city. Wednesday nights tend to be pretty good, and the worst thing is it's just absolutely freezing all the time, isn't it? Like it's just like you get one warm day every 4 months.
Who do you think is the best basketball team of all time and why?
Best basketball team of all time. Might as well say Falkirk Fury at this rate, to be honest. But no, I'd probably say 95, 96 Bulls. I think I'd say the Warriors, but they just didn't win it in the finals. Obviously, LeBron and Kyrie were just on an absolute tear. But yeah, 95, 96 Bulls, like Rodman, Pippen, and Jordan all basically playing at their best.
Who's the quickest player you've ever played with, and how long could you keep up with them?
So I was actually thinking about this, and I was on the phone to him, and I was like, probably was you, weren't you? As much as I didn't want to admit it. Guy called Ronnie Annie, played with him in Manchester. He's now playing the BCB with Bradford Dragons. Boy's just an athlete. He's so quick, like it's ridiculous. And I'd say if I was full court pressing him, I'm probably keeping up with him from my basket to the free throw line, and then he's bursting past me, past that. Colin, I'm having to call over help on that boy. He was just so quick, and I think he gets quicker. I think he's continuing to get quicker. So yeah, definitely Ronnie Annie.
What would you say is your best ever performance on a basketball court?
Best ever performance. It's kind of between two. It's I had a junior game when I was under 16s, Division 1 against Flyers. I had 41, which is a big scoring night. That's obviously pretty impressive. We did lose the game though. Actually both performances we lost. And then I'd probably say Heriot Watt in the Triple S Cup this year. I just seemed to just get caught fire in the last 2 minutes of the game, hit an and one free, and then hit a three off one leg. As much as Harry Faulkner wants to tell me it was a travel, I still don't think it was.
What's the best present you've ever received, and who gave it to you?
Well, best present I've ever received was probably, I think it was my 9th birthday, was the Lego Death Star, because that's the holy grail for Star Wars fans, and it was given to me by my lovely mum and dad.
What is the last book you read, and did you enjoy it?
Last book I read was a book called Slow Horses. It's about MI5 spies. And yeah, it was really good. There's a really good Apple TV show to go along with it as well. It's good watch. Gary Oldman's in it and everything. So yeah, really enjoyable actually.
Who is one player that you never got to play with or see live that you wish you had?
One player I never got to play with, I'd probably say he left Manchester just as I got there, was Ben Brown, who's now at Dartmouth. Yeah, I think he's proper. He's pretty good. I remember just before I came in, there's a clip of him breaking Bronny James's ankles when it was like UK versus Sierra Canyon a few years ago, and I was like, "Who's this boy?" But I never got the chance. Lovely guy though. Anytime I've met him, he's been so nice. But yeah, never got to go in court with him.
What's the best party you've ever been to?
Me and my flatmate were actually speaking about this the other day. I'd say Halloween party when I was 16, and it was my last year of high school, and it was pretty good. I went as the narrator from Fight Club, and yeah, it was just a good night. It was throwing at my mate Nathan's, who often tended to have the parties because he just lived in the big middle of nowhere. So it was definitely that. It was just a good night. I remember that being good fun.
Tell us something about yourself that no one knows.
Something about myself nobody knows. I really don't care for Harry Potter. I just can't get into it. And I think I've probably spent a lot of time lying to people being like, yeah, it's all right. But I just don't care for the movies or the books.
And finally, what's next for you? What do the next 5 years of basketball look like for you?
Yeah, next 5 years of basketball, I think stay at Ignite, don't stay at Ignite. Just need to see how that all pans out. Obviously, I've got RGU, so really looking for promotion next year, looking to win the Conference Cup next year. such a letdown this season, losing the finals and losing the last day of the season. Absolutely just brutal. Yeah, I mean, if I get my grands from Ireland, so get my Irish passport sorted, maybe play a year National League over there just for the experience, and yeah, make a few Triple S squads through Scotland Uni squads with Jonathan McLeod and all that. That'd be really good. Really enjoy that for sure. Currently got training for that 11th of April, so just need to wait and see what comes from there.
Amazing, Archie. Thank you very much for your time and best of luck with the summer.
Yeah, thanks very much, Andrew. Really appreciate it.